everyone and welcome to Beardychiel's Knitting Banter. It has been quite a while since we were last together. My name is John Glenn, better known as Beardychiel, and you can find me around the web and social media in different places. You'll find me as Beardychiel on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Ravelry. You found me here on YouTube, obviously, and if you're looking for me, you'll also find me in email, and in email you'll find me as beardychiel@gmail.com. If you're looking for me other than that, you can always try my website. URL is probably around the screen somewhere, www.beardychiel.uk. So, where are we going to start? Slightly different camera setup today. We're just using the GoPro. It's on a high wobbly stand, so if I happen to bump the table, the camera will wobble. It's about 7:30 PM on a Sunday evening. The light's starting to fail outside. The rain is coming down on the conservatory, and this is the only chance I'm going to get this weekend to try and get some recording done. So let's lash at it. There's a lot to get through because it's been a while since I last saw anyone. So what can I tell you? For those of you who are returning, thank you for staying loyal and for staying there waiting for the next episode coming out. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. If you enjoy it, please feel free to subscribe, and for all of you, if you want to make sure you don't miss an episode coming out, remember, ring the bell button below this and make sure that you get notifications. What's been happening? Well, it's been a fairly busy time over the summer, as you can imagine. There has been a pile of family time, there's been a pile of child minding, there's been some time helping Sarah and her workmates try to save the company that they had been working for. It has unfortunately now closed. Luckily Sarah found herself another job and started within 2 days of finishing the old job. She has really struck it quite lucky, and she's now looking to further develop her own private business. So I'm delighted for her. That has meant some extra time with Ian over the summer, which I absolutely adore. And my other two little helpers, Ruben and Leo, they've been in a couple of mornings a week as well, which has been absolutely super. But by the time Alistair finishes work and comes home at lunchtime, we all sit down and have lunch together, and then we have a blether, and then it's 2:30, 3 o'clock, and they go away. There's a little bit of work, a little bit of tidying up, and the next thing you know, it's time to cook dinner for Janet coming in, and the days just vanish. In between times I've been fitting in some knitting, fitting in the odd bit of social media time, but my podcasting over the summer holidays has been non-existent, and I apologise for that. It's just great to be back. What else can I tell you? This week has been start back to school and nursery week here in the Highlands. So Ruben went off to his proper big boy nursery for the first time. Went in for his two-hour sessions this week, which was the sort of introductory sessions for new kids. Thought that went well. He thoroughly enjoyed them. He got up the morning after the second one, and his dad got him into his ordinary clothes, and they said, where's my nursery jumper? I want to go to nursery. And when Dad had to explain to him that it wasn't a nursery day, he was not happy. So that's a good start. Leo continues to be Leo. He's a little dream to have around the house. He's brilliant fun. And I'll maybe do some recording when the kids are in over the next little while, let you catch up with them, although they do appear later in the episode. Alistair settled back into his work routine. He's getting on fine. Janet's her usual smiling, cheery self. She's hiding at the other end of the sitting room, watching the TV. And what else can I tell you? It's been a lot. What else have I done? Beardychiel has actually done a couple of pop-up stalls. invested in a large 2 metres by 800mm roll-up banner and took a table at the May Highland Games. Then I was asked if I would take the same table at a charity event called Mr. and Mrs. Blood Drop, which raises money for the blood transfusion service and the local blood lab in Caithness General Hospital. Both charitable sort of objectives that I do think are well worthwhile, so I've contributed to that. That was great fun. We had a little summer day out. Alistair, Ian, Ruben, Leo and myself decided it was a lovely sunny day. We would take a little road trip to the other side of Caithness and visit Camster Cairns, which is a Neolithic, partially reconstructed Neolithic Iron Age house. When you get there, from the outside it looks like a mound of piled rocks, and then you find the doorways and in you go and you explore the inside. So I gave the camera on a selfie stick to the kids and Ali and let them go explore the inside, while I had a wander around the outside. And what can I say? I had fun watching the footage that they put together. It's just a wee bit crazy. It'll appear in a little while for you as well, so you'll enjoy that. What else have we done? We've had some general wandering around time. We've had... Oh, we did have a new baby arrive. My nephew Thomas and his partner Ellie, who I was knitting a circular heirloom shawl for, had a beautiful baby daughter, Nova, and Nova Lee, and Nova and her mum and dad and her brother came to visit and picked up her shawl and a couple other little bits and pieces and took them off perfectly happy. That filled some time as well. I'm trying to think what else has happened. So we did Mr. and Mrs. Blood Drop, we did Camster. Oh, and this weekend, just yesterday, my brain's going, we took a gamble and did the drive from Caithness to Inverness and Inverness to Portsoy to visit the Wool at Portsoy event. Simply because we knew some of the vendors who were going to be there, because we've met them at Perth, and the sort of Sutherland vendors I've met at other places around the county. So I thought it would be nice to catch up with them and say hi. And I wanted a wander around just to see what it was like, because it's an event I've never been at. So there's film from Portsoy.
And today we are on a road trip, and we're going to somewhere past Inverness. Where are we going again, Brenda?
We're going to Wool at Portsoy.
Yeah, and here in the back, actually, Swansea,
recorded and downloaded Netflix for entertainment in the back when we make the drive down to Aberdeenshire, and we're going to visit the event Wool at Portsoy, and it's a spur of the moment decision. Janet fancied a drive and thought it would be fun, and we know we'll catch up with folk like Clive and Laurence at Goldcrafts, and a couple of others who we expect to see at Perth Festival of Yarn in 2 or 3 weeks anyway, but a chance to go and look at something else woolly, so why not? It was a nice sunny day until about 30 seconds ago when the clouds decided to cover the sun. So we've got a 3-hour drive ahead of us. See you in a while. Bye. You're on.
And here we have the wild alpacas.
Wild alpacas.
They're in a trailer for protection.
You haven't seen Carlos and Harry?
fleeces of Carlos and Harry, and they've been recently shorn by the looks of things.
They have, and their fleeces are in the hotel.
Wow.
So they just
I'll
stand
go
there.
back and have a look.
Just as you go in the door.
And this is
immediately on the
John
right-hand
Glenn.
side, the fleeces are
And
down there.
here's
Wonderful. How much
house.
fleece comes off some
Well,
just
you'll
that
get
size?
zoom
Back
up,
to the
probably
alpacas.
thick end of 4
The
nano.
alpacas.
Wow.
It's a big fleece.
The
Too big.
alpacas.
We're going to do the indoors bit.
And now for the indoors. Let's go.
Oh, you filming for me while I chat to people?
Yep. Inside the door, there are no men alive.
Right, well, let's
Comes
extend that so that we get you
alpacas.
to a decent height.
And here is the whole view.
Hello. We have arrived. We're in Port Soy. I've had a wander. I've had a cup of tea. And I'm going for a wander back and chat to some folk. And Ian hopefully will remember to rotate this thing so that everybody who's here vending can at some point see their stock appear. Not themselves, the stock.
And
You're safe. You'll aim at the cushions.
safe.
See you again with my trusty cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
This is Ian.
I'm an 8-year-old.
Oh, my word. How lovely.
And we've been looking at all these lovely fleeces.
Unfortunately, half of them are gone now.
Well, that's a good sign.
Well, it is, but they're not so much variety as there was.
Uh-huh.
We had a lot more coloured. But there we are.
Alpacas.
I mean, I'd like to sell them all.
Obviously. Did you get some nice footage of these fleeces?
Yeah.
Take your time.
Not too young, isn't he?
Well, might as well use them if you have to travel with them.
Okay.
This is exactly what he's doing. He's getting a nice batch of footage for me.
Very nice.
Come and get some of this this way as well.
Okay. I was born to be a cameraman. So,
Pause on that so we definitely get the company name.
Thank you.
Okay, you can back off now and get a wide angle shot of the whole stall.
artist who did this banner is a graphic artist who also does graphic artwork for cartoons and for video games. And
Wow.
he is here. He's here with the lady who's spinning over there. The very
Super.
tall gentleman with the red hair and the red beard. That's
Yeah.
Daryl right
Super.
there.
I like that.
over to
A really good deal on the banner as well from the My Business store at Lossiemouth.
Very nice when you
Wow.
look at it.
I just ordered a new one
And
and I
we're a
was
business tour.
delivery within 72 hours. From the south of England to Caithness, 35 quid. That was good, and it was a really good price. And because I taught graphics for 20 years, if I hadn't put it together myself, I'd have been getting a slap.
Well, I'm getting all the business cards are going to be redone with this, but the care instructions on the back so they can double up as.
Product cards, very sensible.
Thank you very much, Lina.
Right, what are you? Oh, what about buttons? I like buttons.
Buttons.
Oh, some of these are really pretty. A bit close. Remember, it's set on wide angle, so you didn't need to get close. We can edit that bit in post-production. You can back off.
Okay. So,
That's why I suggested that you do that, and then all you have to do is stand by a stall and you'll get it.
wow. This is easy. So easy.
Well, you bring them with you, you might as well get some value for money out of them.
And
I'm back, Hillary.
I hope.
Some Caithness. That's the Suffolk and Deltex blended together. Ian, you need to hold that up. Thank you. Right, tilt that back up for you and you'll get whatever you point at.
I have to do 2 hands with my this hand will wobble.
Okay. So
And that's 50 grams.
I put that as 50s, that way £9 for full quantity to test. I sent out test scales to Nathan Taylor, Louise Scully, a few others, and I've sold some at the retreat. The stuff that's come out with knitting with, I think that's in so they've really, and the bit they've loved most is the fact that when the oil washes out, it just comes. That's all right.
And then I'll knit something because that's 100 grams. Yeah.
You'll get something out of that?
Yeah, but I'll dye it and come and show you, and then I'll
Yeah,
knit
be interesting. I actually
it.
have the tulip and the rose shawl with me that's over here.
Now let's turn around.
I'll bring it to Perth. The teaching pack for Perth. Because you'll be there, and Gillian from Black Isle Yarns. Julie, not Gillian. Come on, let's go to the Ripples Crafts. But I want to go and buy yarn. Right. Right. Anything that's not that way up, I'm going to have to cut out and lose. Trouble. I've come back to see your yarn because it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that range of colours, is that not nice? Actually, I bought something almost identical, slightly different to that from Midwinter Yarns at Edinburgh this year, and it's called Sammy, and it's the traditional lap costume colours in a yarn, and it's the same combination of colours.
Yeah, it's a nice combination.
Almost. Wow. Those are lovely. No, I'm just going over here because I'm going to see Lorna and I'm going to pick up a skein of yarn. Look, Ripples Crafts. Of course, Helen has escaped. She's trying to hide over. I don't know where she's gone to hide. She was here, but she's escaped. I'll catch up with her.
I think she's shopping.
She has gone shopping. Right, Lorna, tell us the name of your blog.
It's called Never at a Loose End.
And
blogspot.com.
And people can go and find that and have a read, and it'll be fun.
Blogging about Perth Festival of Yarn. I've written 3 posts now about the festival and my take on how did I get on last year, what did I make with what I bought last year.
Wonderful.
Then I wrote a post about all about colour. Here's Helen.
We're on camera. We're not on camera.
We are.
We're the dream team.
Yeah, and it's set on wide angle so even I can appear in front of it.
Sorry.
It's alright. I've actually come back for that dark blue yarn we were looking at.
Yes.
I'm here to shop.
I have to have a look.
Do you want to play with it? Take it. Have a play. It's the whole point of knitting a sample.
Yeah.
Right.
Going to leave you £16.
Well, throw it in there.
Yes. Hi. I've been in the office.
And
Right, I'm going to give that back to you before.
that's okay.
Hold that for you. Go for you.
Now, let's extract some money from this pocket because it's in 2 different pockets. So there's 12.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, he's
stop
taking
that.
the...
Get some footage of your stall for the podcast as well, if you don't mind. No, do some advertising. It's always worth doing things like that at events like this. Far too many temptations. Get thee behind me, Satan. Hi guys. Just adjust this because it's sitting a bit squint. And my windshield's falling off the microphone. How's that? I hope you can hear me and see me. I'm here in Port Solly in Moray at the Wool at Portsoy event, and we are about to wander into the Station Hotel function suite and see some of the vendors in there. With you in a minute or two. Bye. So, we're visiting Travelling Yarns, and what a selection. This is super. Oh, hi Ian.
Hi camera, bye.
Bye camera, bye Ian. Now look, a sight which you almost never see. Clive's seat without Clive and an inert spinning wheel. It's not natural. I'm at Gongcrafts. Might have known. Oh, it's tempting. Super tempting. Oh yeah, having been to Gongcrafts, the next people I come across, look, it's Pat and Sean, King Craig Fabrics. Oh, and Janet's hiding because I've got a camera on. Oh, what a surprise. Why are you hiding, Ian? You don't normally hide. Right, what am I buying here? Do I want cones or balls, or do I want to wait until I'm in Perth?
In front of a camera.
Yes, troublemaker boy. Oh, get thee behind me, Satan. You always have too many nice things. Oh, I might look at fabric. Bye, camera. Right, back again, this time Bunlow at Woolery. And as I always, every time I pass, I look at this wool picker and I think that would look really nice in my shed. And every time I say that, Janet says, no chance. Oh my God. Is that mohair? That's wonderful. So soft. That's washed up absolutely beautifully, hasn't it? Wow.
This bit got a bit this one was from Sky and the weather was against them. But the ones from our sheep hasn't felted. It's absolutely gorgeous.
They're lovely. And what a lovely colours.
The sheen is just...
Yeah, you can see just the natural lustre sitting there. It's super. You bringing that to Perth with you? Oh, I could wait 2 weeks for that. Oh, I've more money with me at Perth. And now that I'm a pensioner, I have to wait for payday. I'm not selling things fast enough otherwise. Right, back again. Next stall in my list today, JC Rennie. Look at those naturals. Aren't they superb? Shetland Freedom Arden, all natural colours blended, are absolutely superb. And this cashmere, just absolutely stunningly soft, really, really nice. Now if you remember this lot, some of these colours appeared in sequin sort number 2. And I'm just looking to see if they have in stock what I used for those. There was a burgundy and a green 4-ply, but I'm not seeing them, so maybe different colours. And I'm not going to go and look at fabric because I'm trying to be good. Back in a minute. Now, Cooks and Crafts is always fun to visit, but I'm going to resist temptation to buy today because I know I'm going to see them in 2 weeks' time at Perth as well, and that's when I'm going to have decided what my spending budget is. But oh dear, it's a temptation. Oh, felted animals. Aren't they wonderful? Oh, it's a terrible temptation. They're lovely. I'm just going to feature them on a podcast if you don't mind. Yeah, I think they're wonderful. I won't feature you, I promise.
No, I'm a bit camera shy as well.
Oh, my wife kills me if she ever appears.
Tracy doesn't like being photographed. She's got a picture of herself on Facebook and it's like when she was in her 20s. And like, she said, well, I don't want a picture of me. She just needs a photo as well. No, she used to that page.
I really wanted to use the lazy clean.
Oh, Gansey territory. These are nice. Absolutely wonderful. Hello. You don't mind me filming your stock, do you? I podcast about knitting and crafting, so it makes sense to come to an event like this and collect footage.
There's some lovely things here today.
Oh, it's super. I've had a whale of a time.
These are all hand spun.
Yes.
Different fleeces and things, different fibres.
They're super. You have a lovely selection,
Thank you.
I have to say. Some of the hand spun is really, really nice. Some interesting blends. That's nice. The colours in that are absolutely super.
Blending yourself, just making something different.
Yeah.
It's like to diet and then blend it. And if you get something unique, don't you?
Well, that's it.
And that's a nice thing about it.
And then when it spins, it can look completely different again.
Exactly.
Because I do spin at home when I can keep the grandsons away from the wheel for long enough. And it's always, I don't know, it's
It's a surprise sometimes.
a surprise, exactly.
And that's what I like. It's a mystery. You don't quite know how. Sometimes you see something in a braid or whatever it might be, and you think, well, I really love that. And then when you spin it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
And the other way around. You have a
And
braid
yet-
that you don't think is particularly nice. You spin it up and think, wow, that's fantastic.
Or you sometimes get things, you spin it and as a single it looks terrible and you think, I'll apply it with that.
Yeah. And
I'll apply it with that other thing that's been lying in the cupboard for 6 months.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you think, oh,
Yeah.
all right, I want to use that for something.
That's right.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. That's the worst part of creative things. You never know what's going to just hit your eye on a day-to-day basis. So, what I do now, talk you through the... Oh, I'll tell you what else is coming. There are some whips, there's some finished objects, there's some information on Caithness Croft yarn, Beardychiel's Retreat 2019, and the big one that's coming up, of course, Perth Festival of Yarn 2018. So, without wasting too much time, let's go through the bits that we did. May Highland Games came up. My friend Valerie, excuse me, we're on lemonade today. My friend Valerie is a member of the committee of the Royal British Legion, Wick, Canisby and Latheron. Or Wick, Canisby and Leicester. Can't remember the name of the branch anyway. Who are responsible for organising the annual May Highland Games. Now the May Highland Games is special because it's attended each year by His Royal Highness Prince Charles. He comes and spends some summer holiday time at the Castle of May, which was his grandmother's holiday home here in Caithness. And when she died, one of the requests that she made was that someone maintain the tradition. And Charles had come up and spent time at the games with her, and that many occasions he volunteered. So I went along thinking I would man my stall. Sarah and Alistair might come in partway through the day. Ian had come to help me. They would take Ian for a wander. I'd get out for a wander around the showground and see what was happening. Didn't work out that way. They arrived, they took Ian for a wander, and I got stuck in my stall with people coming to chat to me and some people buying. And the afternoon went absolutely quickly, absolutely wonderful. And then the tent went awfully quiet. There was no one around. There were 2 or 3 folk floating, and I thought, it's quiet. And the 2 or 3 folk came and chatted away to me. And then I heard some clicking. I looked up, and there was a pile of photographers, because HRH had decided to have a wander round some of the marquees just to see what was on sale, what crafts were available, what was happening. And he came all the way around to the Beardychiel table and he stopped for a chat. Sarah and Ian had come back just before this, and Ian was standing saying, "Who is this man and why is he important?" And when we explained that he was the Queen's oldest son, and should anything happen to the Queen, he would become the king, he sort of went, "Oh, right, oh. And HRH appeared in front of us and took his hand and shook his hand, and it was like a rabbit stuck in the headlamps of a car. His mouth slightly open, his eyes wide open, and he just looked and smiled and nodded a little. His Royal Highness shook hands and spoke to Sarah and then to me, spoke about the shawl designs, spoke about Caithness Croft and why I had inherited those fleeces and why I had decided to have them processed, because the idea of them just being wasted was just beyond awful. And we spoke about that, and we spoke about knitting, and he actually told me 1 or 2 things about his family's knitting history, and spoke about members of the family who knitted. And that bit I'm not going to tell you about, because it was a polite conversation between him and I'm going to keep it that way. And I feel really privileged that he shared that information with me. So that was that. Got to the end of the day, packed up, came home. It was fun, and I would definitely do it again next year. It was a great fun day. The number of people who passed through the tent was phenomenal. Sales were all right, and it raises money for the Royal Hospital for Sick Servicemen at Erskine, just on the Clyde. And that Erskine Hospital has been a rehab unit and a retirement unit for old servicemen for as long as I can remember. It's been there my entire lifetime and before that, so it's well worth supporting. Hi folks, Ian and I are at the May Highland Games. Beardychiel Designs has a stall on the go. Look, we have a new banner. And we've set up in a tent with a pile of other crafters. And today we're going to be selling patterns and maybe some Caithness Croft yarn and generally having fun. What are you up to, Ian?
I have no idea.
Why are you here? He's here because he was helping me to carry boxes. So I'm going to sign off now. Ian's going to go and explore the site and do some filming when his mum arrives, and I'll catch up with you later in the day.
But later, I'm coming with you.
Well guys, we've got to the end of the May Games and we're at packing up time. Look, my fellow stall holders are all at the dismantling stage. I've had a fun day, had a lovely chance to talk to His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and he expressed an interest in Caithnesscroft yarn and told me some unusual knitting information about his family history which I did not know, and I'm not telling you, so there. Haha! I'll see you when I get back to the house. So that was that. Then the Mr. and Mrs. Blood Drop event. There's some footage which I'll put in about here, or just after I finish chatting. I just had a wander around with the camera to have a look at stalls that were there. Nothing fantastic. It was a relatively quiet day. Some sales covered the cost of the charitable donation for the table for the day, and a couple of skeins of yarn gone, some patterns gone, and chatted to a lot of people, which was absolutely wonderful. Had a great time, so many thanks to Joy Jackson who organises it, and I look forward to next year's. It should be really, really good. 3, 2, 1. Hi folks, another craft fair day, and today Beardychiel has come to Mr. and Mrs. Blood Drops event, and it's an annual event to raise money for the blood lab at the local Caithness General Hospital and for the blood transfusion service. So same layout as last time. Some shawls, some patterns, and here's Brian. Hi Brian, how are you? I thought they'd left you at home on dog duty until Lee said no, Grandad's here somewhere. Well, I stopped for my blether, so we're going for a wander around the hall. Hey, look, we got all banners up again. Everything's laid out and looking reasonably. But what else have we got today? Now this is a deceptive stall because every time I pass it I want to buy something. Every time I say that, this man here says that he's going to try and sell me something.
No.
Have you nearly set up?
I've never done this before, so I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
This is only my second one. Don't worry, Julie, it'll be fine. What have they got you on today, Mother? Oh, tombola tickets.
Yeah.
You poor thing.
Right. There you go. Fold twice, put it in the bucket.
Keep them busy. Oh, I'm looking forward to tea time. Still some folk to come in because I came in early this morning to make sure I get set up before it got too bad. But it's nice wandering around seeing what's on show. And this is Joy, and she's responsible for this. Tell us why we're raising all this money today, Joy.
We're raising this money to raise awareness for Give Blood, and the funds then go to Caithness General Hospital Blood Laboratory. So all for good cause.
Absolutely wonderful. And do you think we're going to be busy?
I hope so.
I'm thinking we could be busy as well because it's a lovely day outside, so folk will come for a wander. And I've already been mentioning online that I was coming here today, and 2 or 3 folks said, we'll see you there. So that's promising.
Good, good. Thank you very much.
That's all right. I'll tell you when the podcast goes up so that the family can watch you. Well, that's me. I'm signing off. I'll maybe stick this camera back on partway through the day. depending how things go. But other than that, I'll see you in a few hours. Bye. That takes us on to a day out at Camster. I'm not going to say anything else about it, apart from the fact that there were thousands upon thousands upon thousands of midges when we got there. And the wind died down and they swarmed on us and we were eaten alive and the kids hated that bit. So we still did our tour of the cairns as quickly as we could and got back in the car and came home. But over to us on the way to Camster. Right, we're going for an adventure?
Oh yeah.
No, just talk to it, see, tell us where we're going.
We are going to non-escaping room. And I don't like non-escaping room. Robin, your answer? Yeah.
Where are we going? Adventure!
Adventure! We're going on adventure. Folks will keep you updated and go on adventure. The next minute or so.
Where are we going, Ali?
Camster Cairns.
Camster Cairns, far side of Caithness, and we're going to have a look at some Iron Age burial sites. And we'll see when we get there, because it's a lovely day and we're just having a drive. Look! Isn't that wonderful?
And a beautiful sunrise.
Bye for now. Right, we've arrived at Camster Cairns. Where are we, Ian? Covered in midges?
Okay, we are in Midgie Town. Domino's Midgie. Okay, so it's lovely. I'll give you a view. I'm wobbling in it because there are midges everywhere. Just look at the lot. And then look.
Say hello, camera.
Is this the first ever time you've been in cameras? No.
Right, camera to me, please.
And back to John. Back with the news, everyone.
Yeah, well, we came for a day out thinking we would have fun, but we're in super midgy territory and we're all getting eaten alive. Ali's putting the rain suits on the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Leo.
There's literally a ton there.
I know. You can come over towards me.
Yeah.
Right, we're not going that one. I think we're going to go the other one. So the grey cairns of Camster. Quite a... Oh dear heavens. There's lots and lots of them. Right, let's walk along.
All of you.
Yeah. Come this way, Leo. We're going to walk along the road a little bit. Come on.
Wait, can we just go in that one?
Well, no, we're going to walk along towards the big one, but the sooner we start walking, the better. You going to hold my hand?
I'm safe. Midges won't get in my face now.
They're not so bad here, they've eased off a wee bit. Right, the midges have gone and we're going to walk over to the big cairn.
Oh, that is sick.
Ruben's coming. Will we go down these stairs?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm waiting for you. Come on then.
The midges are growing up again.
Say hello to everyone. Hey, Mr. Puddle. Say hello to all my friends who are watching us.
Hi.
Where are we going? On a...
You want me to take it from here?
Yeah, you can take it along the path a little.
I'm itching my head. Okay.
Careful with it.
Now midges are gone. I'm not putting my head down because it looks like it's going to rain. And we're basically going in that rocky pile. There's another one over there. And I think we might adventure in it. I don't know. But you guys are in for a treat. That's going to be amazing. As we set off in the wood, we knew it. Now we would get muddy and we would probably be eaten alive by midges. But that don't stop me. So I kept on going with my hood up. I can't put it up. Okay, so back. Well, there's just so much with Leo going ahead. It's just amazing. Leo, do you want to say hi to the camera? Hello. Say hello. Hello, guys. Hello. Can you say hi? Yeah. Okay. So we're going over there, and it's gonna be amazing. And there's a path. It's really made of nice wood. And there's Leo back. So it's just gonna be amazing. And back with me talking. So as we set off, we knew that we were eating a lot. We didn't know that there would be sheep in the road. There's sheep everywhere in here. Like, there's sheep in the road. See over there, and there's sheep. They're right over there, where the trees are. That's where the sheep were. And that's Splatter over there. Splat. That's what I call poo. Splatter. Okay, so I don't know what that is. I don't know the memo. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna do whatever. Wait, are we rolling? I thought I was talking to it. Okay, never mind. Okay, so whoa. Okay, we're waiting here. We're coming back. What? Okay. And here is the lovely son of Ali. Len. Say hello.
You have to talk to the camera and say hello, my name is Ruben.
Hello. My name is Ruben. You don't pass it back to me?
And where are we going?
To Windsor. We're going to an adventure. You excited, Ruben? Are you going to be in the vlog? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can tell which is which. Ruben's the smallest, but yeah, but oldest. Leo's the tallest, but youngest. And the main man.
Too close to your face, we won't see anything.
Okay, fine. The main man.
Thank you.
Okay, so bye.
Hi guys. We're at Camster Cairns. Ali, Ruben, Leo, Ian and 1,000 million midges. And we are...
Let me have that one.
You're going to carry the camera for me?
Yeah.
Right, well, wait a minute. And we're actually off to visit the larger of the grey cairns, which is right in front of us here. Whether or not we'll be able to see inside, we'll have to wait and see. But Ruben is going to take over as the cameraman, and he's going to hold the camera very carefully. Don't hold it so that it's looking at where we're going. That's it, and off we go. You walk to Daddy and take Daddy's picture. Tell us about those horrible little flies. Did they bite your face?
No.
Did they bite your neck?
Yeah.
And have they made you feel itchy? Awfully itchy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nasty flies. You can turn the camera around and you'll get a picture of Daddy. That's it, hold it up so we can see Leo and we can see Daddy.
Oops. I'm here.
You're here?
Yeah.
Right, come on in. Follow me. Hooray, we're at the cairn.
Oops.
Right, well I hold it while you go up the hill.
Let me go up the hill.
You go up the hill then, and then you can hand me the camera back. Goodness me. Okay, let's go.
Let me have the camera.
In a little bit. Right folks, Camster Cairns. Neolithic, Paleolithic, can't remember which burial mound. We've got a couple in Caithness. Known as the Grey Cairns of Camster simply because of the colour. And it is possible to get inside and have a look around. It's a tiny little doorway, so it may be that I trust cameraman Ian to go wandering in and have a look around. But it's quite an interesting sight. You want to film inside, Ian?
Yeah.
I know, Ian will do the inside film for us. Right, go Ian, I've put it down so that it'll fit in.
Okay, so we're going. Fits the camera properly. So, now, let's see how dark it is. Meditown.
I don't think there is, but you can create one.
I see in there, it's not that big. Then we're going to another one. Oh, look at that view. Okay, we're going to another one. Oh no, there's only one there.
Come in.
Yeah, so
You can go in there.
I'll go.
Now, just watch your head, okay? But you
Okay.
can go all the way in, and there's a big room at the end. Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay. Wait there! Oh, Leo, you okay? Oh, this is so scary.
It's cool, isn't it?
No, it's scary.
It's not scary.
Can I get out? I'm getting out.
No, I'm coming in.
I'm scared. No, I'm getting out, Ali. No, Ruben, not right now.
Right, let's go.
I've already seen it.
Open the camera.
No, never. Okay, fine. Okay, 1 minute. So there's like loading stuff. Okay, fine.
Hi. This is. It's nice to not be in the midges anyway. You want to have the camera?
Yeah.
Right, can you film all the walls? No. Turn the camera around so it's not looking at you. That's it, and then film up sky. Wow. There's a big skylight somebody's put in. Wow. But you keep on turning it off. Listen, you can hear an echo. Echo! So this is it, this is what I want to see. Nice skylight. And it's just off to back here so you can see, that's all it really is. Not much going on, really. Do you want to go back out? We'll try and go in the other door.
Daddy.
Right, you say hello, I'm in Camster Cairns. No, you need to turn it round.
Oops. What's that?
Oh, I can see you. Can you see me? No, look up at me. Can you see my face?
Yeah.
Hi! Right, let's go out.
We go out. We go out.
Leo, do you want to go back out?
No, then we go back.
Go back in. Okay. Shout on him, get the camera for you.
Camera.
Right,
Camera. We're going camera. I was waiting to eat alive when my teeth I couldn't. They're in my eyes. The next one is scary. Robin, you just had it. So, Robin, you just had the camera. It's my turn. It's my turn now, okay? Robin, please stop. He's over there. Because he is. But Robin, stay with me. Stay with me, Robin. You want to see Granda? No. I'm going to see Granda. Granda! George! Okay, so just looking for him. He's over there. Not always see him. So now, did you know every animal farts? Never knew that. Okay, I don't know why I said that. Please cut that out, Granda. Uncle Ali, yeah? This other one's deep.
Is it deep?
Yeah.
So cool though.
I seen you and Mishi going. Okay. As you can see Maggie's spot them out. And you. Whoa. I'm trying to put you upside down. Hi! Oh. Sorry. Sorry, you guys. Just put me down. Ruben, you okay? Yeah. No, don't worry, Ruben. Ruben, don't worry. Ruben, don't worry. I got you. Ruben got you. Ruben.
Come back out, please.
Can I help you, okay?
The juice is in the car.
Oh, I hate this place.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. Don't you go back home? There's too many flies, isn't there?
Oh. We didn't eat him. There's this one.
Yeah.
What? Brenda!
Thank you.
Okay, so then this is the history. If you would like to read it, you can pause the video and look at it.
Yeah, we're about to run out of battery, but this will be the last thing we see. Is the long cairn information. Come on, Rubes, you come and I'll help you.
We are back. Oh, so that was Camster. Works in progress seemed to be a good idea. So I'm going to start here. You'll note that this is the original Beardychiel sock project bag, and it contains a sock for Beardychiel, and it's a vanilla sole, German short row heel, little single cable pattern on the front just to create a little texture, and I'm just working my way up the leg now. I started this ages ago and put it to one side because I had other projects that needed to get finished, and it's getting a few rows every couple of days. It'll get there in the end, but my bag has seen plenty of use now. It's keeping well, it's working well, and I am incredibly happy with it. Here's the double-sized bag that I made this. Oh, this is a finished object as well, by the way. You wouldn't have seen this since I finished it. And it's lined with a stripy fabric, and it contains the cotton shawl that I started knitting while I was in Rhodes. This is a rework of Beardychiel's Comet shawl. There are two versions of that pattern written in the pattern. This is version number 2. And it's been knitted in cotton. I am really happy with the way the pattern's coming out. Oh no, I've just pulled those stitches off. That was absolutely wonderful. Excuse me, I'll just pick these up very, very quickly. That's why you should never show things off when you're in the middle of a row join, because you do stupid things like that and lose track of what you've actually got in front of you, and then you ruin the entire thing. Right, they're picked up, that'll be fine. So that I will continue to work away on in a week or two's time once some of the other projects that I have on the go get finished off. This 1.5 times size project bag, I must admit, when I was knitting it, I thought, oh, I don't know. What I have done is, as I've been knitting each one, I've just changed the pattern that I've been throwing on the front. This is just a knit-free, purl-free rib, but it moves a stitch every row, so it zigzags across, back and across, just to give it a little bit of something. It's using up old cones of 4-ply which were going to be sent to landfill. Some of them have a roll content, some of them are synthetic. I don't really care, I didn't want to see it going to waste, and turning it into project bags is a perfectly good way of using it up. So that's that one. Right, next whip. Oh, this is an exciting one. This is a Caithness Croft whip, and I'm knitting it straight from the cone. And this is just the bottom 6 inches of a scarf. Now this particular scarf is being created to go to a friend in Shetland for her company to use in Shetland Wool Week. She works for a chocolatier in Shetland, and the pattern that you see there is the centre of the company logo turned into a knitting pattern, and this scarf will have that, and the logos will continue to run up the outside, but the centre logo will be replaced and become colour work cocoa pods, Fair Isle cocoa pods, the length of the scarf. So it's about 12 inches wide, and I'm going to knit it until it's about 4 feet long. And this is really nice to knit with. I'm enjoying knitting with it. I know that when I wash it, it's going to open up. If the sound's getting a bit ropey because the rain's getting heavier, I do apologise, but I can't control Mother Nature, and I don't want to delay recording any further. Yeah, I could go and sit in another room, but the lighting wouldn't be as good, so let's hope this is okay. The lighting in here has changed. It's stronger overhead lights nowadays, so hopefully you can see me alright. So that's that one. Let's move that one. Oh, this is a big bag. It contains the largest whip. This is a sweater. And this is a sweater for me. So, let me get the back sorted out. Unfortunately, the cable it's on, because this is for me, isn't quite big enough, but you can see that it's a simple mock raglan, and it's going to end up using 6 different colours of yarn, and that is the rolled finished edge that I'm going to leave at the neck. I'm not going to be adding a rib to it, I just want it as an open neck. It's going to be a capped short sleeve, woolly for myself because I hate long sleeves. And these combinations of broken rib, stocking stitch and garter stitch are going to continue to run down, getting wider and wider as we work our way down, and then they'll go back to the small size and build up again, and we should have some fun. There are, what did I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colours involved. You can see 5 of them there. There's a sand brown, an orange, a blue, a dark green, a light green or a yellow, a black and a blue, and we're just going to be alternating the colours as we work our way down. I wanted a stronger top half and fade it out to a lighter coloured bottom half, and so far I think it's going to be okay. It falls over alright the way I want it to, and I'm hoping that it's going to sit nicely when eventually it's in a long enough cable. Once I get past the increases for the arms and things, it'll change. But I have to say, I like the colours, I like the texture. The yarn itself is Sublime Luxurious Tweed DK, which I think is Sardar. What does it say? Yeah, it is made by Sardar, and it's 60 wool, 40 cotton, and it's lovely and soft. It's nice to work with. It's a single, and there are bits of twigging things in it from time to time. There's little slubs of colour in it as well, which I quite enjoy. So watch this space. That's my Friday night knitting. When Ian takes me to bed for an early night on a Friday night. Right, on to the next one. Scarabray bag here. And in the Scarabray bag is another sock. Now, there is one finished already. You'll see that it's a nice simple 3x1 rib on the instep, stocking stitch vanilla sole, and the only reason for doing that with the instep is to make sure that it's got a little bit of pull in to keep it snug on the foot. But the finished one is here. Now, this hasn't had its ends sewn in yet, and it hasn't been blocked, it's just off the needles and lying in the bag. So, this is how it looks. So, GSR heel, Latvian braids, I-cord loops, and 6 very distinct colours. This pattern is called Mathilde's Pride Socks, and it has been named after the 16-year-old daughter of some of my friends, who has in the last little while come out to her mum and dad, been very brave because of where she lives. Folks' attitudes can be a bit stentorian, and our parents are trying to be as supportive as possible, and they were chatting to me and were looking at one of today's other finished objects, and asked me, because of the way it was constructed and the colours involved, could they buy the sample from me? And I said no, sorry. And it wouldn't have been appropriate for the use they wanted either, because it had the wrong number of colours. But I said, when I was designing the sock part of that pattern collection, I would specifically make it a 6-colour sock for Mathilde. And when I did that, I thought, why not make it appropriate to her? Why the braids and why the loops? Well, that story actually appears in the pattern, and every section has a different texture, a different background texture, and there's a reason for all of this. The hoops, the rings of braid, the hoops that run around the whole thing. And the more I was thinking about creating something for this young lady, the more I was thinking about my other friends who are gay or trans or whatever. And I had been working with these pattern elements in a shawl, and I thought, you know something, they actually make sense for the sock. The braids I can use to create a set of barriers between pattern sections. And barriers in life are what a lot of my friends have had to overcome, just to be themselves. The I-cord loops for me became emblematical of the hoops that they jump through day by day by day to just lead a normal life in society and to have people let them fit in. The different textures in every section are there because no two sections are the same. Each section is an individual. And yet, every one of these people, every one of my friends is an individual. And they need to be thought about in that way. And as I was knitting it, it just made so much sense for all these elements to be together in the one sock. I finished it and I sent her a photograph on her 16th birthday and said, is that okay? And if I put the pattern on paper, can I give it the name Mathilde's Pride Socks? And she was ecstatically delighted to say yes, she would love to have that happen. This is a size 4 sock, knitted on 64 stitches, which will fit her size 4 feet perfectly. And it's, you know, the length is created bespoke for her foot. Mum and Dad went home and got her to. But look, my forearm's the same size as her shin. That's frightening. But when you look at those I-cords wrapped around something that gives it that three-dimensional pop out, I really like the way it looks. I'm happy with that sock. So I'm going to try and get the other one finished this week. Mathilde's sock pattern will become available. It's out for test knitting. So there are 2 test knitters working on that at the moment, and it will be launched at the Perth Festival of Yarn this year, along with one of today's finished objects. And it seems a pity not to go straight to that finished object. Oh, I can't, there's one more. Cast on earlier today is this. And you can barely see it. It's just starting to come together. Look, it's these. This is Cosmic Strings Blue Ocean DK 100% Merino, which I had earmarked for another project, but because all of my loop-to-loop stuff is 4-ply, I wanted a loop-to-loop cowl in DK, and I thought I would put these two together. It's not going to change colour, it's going to be the one colour pattern throughout on a grey background. The silver grey is from the Border Mill, and it's their alpaca and mohair DK, worked and twisted, 50% alpaca, 50% mohair, 100 grams colour, titanium, and it is, I showed you it when I bought it. I bought it in Edinburgh this year. It is one of the squidgiest, softest, most gorgeous yarns that I have ever worked with. And this merino it's a single and it's lovely as well. So this will be the cowl part of my loop-the-loop collection. So the loop-the-loop collection is a shawl, a cowl, a pair of socks and a hat. Now whether or not I get them all knitted in time for Perth Festival of Yarn and release the whole collection then, oh, it's a fortnight away. I may not manage all of that, but the cowl, the socks and the shawl will be ready in time. Onto the shawl. This is the loop shawl. I forgot to say that the yarn for the socks, the multicolour sections are from a 10-pack of Rainbow mini skeins by Moppy and the Squib, and the grey is a silver wool and mohair mix from the Knitting Goddess in the colourway silver, and that is lovely to knit with. It feels absolutely fantastic in your fingers while you're working. Right, back to the shawl. This is the loop shawl, and it's an asymmetric triangle which uses Latvian braids, 6 different textured stitches and I-cord loops in 10 colours to create an edging. It has been quite popular with the folk who have seen it so far. Why is it an asymmetric triangle? Well, anyone who's done Beardychiel's shawl design class knows that I like asymmetric triangles because they give you an end which is extra long, which is always going to have enough space to wrap all the way around fat nets for people like me if they decide they want something that's going to be on backwards. He says, adjusting that so that it hangs a wee bit better. I like the way that looks. This is 4-ply. The background oatmeal colour is lamb's wool and silk, 80% lamb's wool, 20% silk, unbranded from Kincaid Fabrics in Brora, and it has been absolutely gorgeous to work with. They still have some in other colours. I don't think they get any of the oatmeal left, but this is, it's really nice. I wore this yesterday when I was in Port Soy, and I was sweltered, absolutely sweltered. Dimensions, well, the camera's on its widest setting. You'll notice that it actually starts with a neckline, which is a little bit crazy. I didn't plan it that way, that's an accident. But you'll notice that the first set of textures run diagonally out from the central spine and then change to running in bands all the way around, halfway down. I just wanted a different shaped core or fill in at the beginning. And of course, because of the way the entry, this comes out in strips of 20, this comes out in stripes which are 30 wide, because that's going to be the longer side. All in all, I have something, and my arm span is just on 6 foot, and I have got some hanging either side. So I've got something about 7 foot long here. It's not bad to knit. It was fun. It was a fun thing to put together, and it was a fun knit. You'll see that up the centre spine there are some simple cables. Latvian braids breaking up the textured sections. The idea of individual textures and thinking of people's individuality has been playing on my mind for a little while, so it seemed to make sense for this to all come together in a muckle great shawl, which I could enjoy. So, if you'll excuse me, just since I'm sitting at the conservatory, I'm going to shuffle this round my back and just let it hang. Assuming that it's going to hang on to me. Get over it, this sling. Right. Now, what else do we have? Finished objects. The next set of finished objects is 2 pairs of baby socks. Pair number 1, pair number 2. and then skating everything else around. I've knocked the other two onto the floor somewhere. Don't know what I've done with them. Silly old beggar. But hey, two cute little baby socks. Pinks, whites and purples. These are for Thomas and Ellie's little Nova. Nice long legs so she kind of kick them off. And hopefully they'll be better than booties, and they're due to pick those up at the end of this week, I think. So that's that bit. And the last finished object is another project bag. No lining in this one yet, but again, using up just some scrap wool, slightly different pattern on it again, because I like to change the pattern every time. Broken rib up the ends. I-core top half and handle again. And it'll get some press studs. I went on and ordered some press studs today. One company in London wanted to charge me $14.95 for carriage for £3 worth of metal press studs. 3 packs, 3 cards with 12 press studs in each. And they wanted 15 quid for carriage. Absolutely ridiculous. And why did they want that? Because we don't live on the mainland, we live in the Highlands and Islands. And they don't use the post office, they use a private carrier, and the carrier surcharges them for sending anything this far north. In this day and age, that is absolutely crazy. So I stuck a post on Instagram, and an awful lot of people all said the self-same thing. I haven't named and shamed the company today, because I will email them as well and tell them how ridiculous it is and why they've lost my business permanently. I won't go back to them. That's life. So I've got some mohair in this one along with some of the other bits and pieces just to use it up. And it was fun. So that's that bit. So where does that take us? Finished objects are done. Oh, Look the Loop shawl is with Test Knitters as well at the moment, and I've had some photographs back from Penny Lewis, who you know I've worked with several times. Penny is one of my go-to test knitters because she's so incredibly conscientious. She really enjoys what she does, and what she produces in terms of feedback is always good. So I have to say I enjoy working with Penny. And we've got 3 new sort of testing out test knitters, doing the 2 of them on the socks and the other one on the shawl. So that takes us quite nicely to Caithness Croft yarn. Got some sitting with me here. I showed you some last time. This has got its labels on. A blend of Suffolk and Beltex, 50 grams, between 88 and 90 odd metres per skein. Because sometimes yarn varies a little in diameter as you're winding it. If I go for a fixed distance, I don't have a fixed weight. So I've been going for a fixed weight because I know that every skein, because I have the cone on a digital scale as I'm winding off of it, each skein is either 51 or 52 grams. I don't think I can rely on being bang on 50 grams and accurate. I've created a little bit of leeway in each one. Yes, it means I'm going to lose a skein or so in the batch over 50 skeins. I'm going to lose one, but I think it's worth it. As I say, the length comes out between 88 and 92 to 95 metres. And it's weird that it changes. I tried doing it to a fixed distance count, and I actually got a couple of skeins that came in at 49 grams. That's why I decided to abandon that. Now this is a DK weight yarn, and it looks like a fingering yarn. And that's because at the moment it still has just a tiny little bit of the oil from production in it. But when you wash it, this blooms, it opens up dramatically. And to show you that, I had a couple of little ends which I was playing around with food colouring just to dye up and see how it would react while I was waiting for the commercial dyers, the indie dyers who have got some to play with, coming back and saying what they've been trying to do with it and how it had come out looking. And those have come out looking alright, I'm happy with those. Don't know what I'm going to put them into yet, but there'll be something. But if I show you the end of this and the end of that, and I put them side by side, you can see just how much the yarn blooms by. All of a sudden it goes from being quite thin to relatively thick. So I have to say that explains why when I've test knitted with this and then washed my swatches, the swatches become so thick. It reminds me of oiled Aran when I was a kid. My mother and grandmother would buy it like that, straight from the mill, so that when they were working with it, they would get something that bloomed and became denser as it was washed time after time for the first half dozen washes or so. And it improved the definition and patterns, it made it more windproof. It was just what they considered normal, so that was fine. What else can I tell you about Caithness Croft? Its price point is £9 for 50 grams. It's available on the Beardychiel website or www.beardychiel.uk, and there is a sort of fixed price for postage and packing in the UK, which will be added at the end of your sale if you want it delivered in the UK, and I'll make sure that that happens for you. There was a lovely review for the yarn carried out by Louise Scully of the Knit British podcast, and I have to say, Louise, thank you so much for the feedback and for the advice when I was putting the project together. It was greatly appreciated. Her review of the yarn is completely fair. I have to say, when I read what she had, when I listened to what she had to say, I was really pleasantly surprised and blown away. She had sent me a written review as well, and when I read the written review, I was really, really pleased. The other thing that happened in the podcast, she took her prices straight from the website, and the website had actually added the postage and packing to the display price. So when you were looking at a skein of yarn, it didn't look like £9, it looked like £12, £12.50. And that's not the price of the yarn. That would be yarn plus postage and packing for a single skein at 50 grams, which is not quite right. So £9 for 50 grams. Some has sold in Rhodes, and the folk who bought it in Rhodes have knitted with it, and the first couple of projects have come back. Photographs of the finished objects have come back, and I have to say I'm really pleased with the way they look. They've gone for keeping that natural cream colour. The first two things back are a couple of hats. I've got a scarf on the go, as you can see. At some point I'll produce a shawl. Well, I do have a plan for a shawl. Haven't knitted it yet. I'll tell you about that in just a second. Now the photographs have come back to me, and I'm absolutely delighted. I have to thank Margaret for one. And if you're on Instagram and you follow Mind Facestuller, you'll have seen the other one possibly, because it popped up just the other day. And I've asked for permission to use both of them to help promote the yarn because they look so good. And as soon as I have those written permissions back, I'll maybe go ahead and use it. But because I had the idea of working with DK dark blue along with the grey, I was thinking that I would like another dark blue DK yarn, and when I went through my stash I didn't have any dark blue. So when I was in Port Soy, I was talking to Helen at Ripples Crafts, and she had just released Cocaine DK, which is 100% EFL, and this is Dark Sea Storm, and that just said to me, match it with some of the Caithness Croft, knit it up and turn it into a shawl. So I have a funny feeling that 100 grams of the blue and 200 grams of the cream are going to go together to produce a rather large DK shawl, which I am looking forward to. Now, whether it's going to be structured pattern colour work, or whether it's going to be banded and textured, or it might even be DK lace work, I haven't decided yet, so you're going to have to watch this space. That'll come out, pattern release, I'm thinking I would probably aim for end of October, start of November for that one. So that is also my stash enhancement over the summer. Once again, I've been very good because I'm saving myself. Where does Caithness Croft go from here? Well, the stock that I have at present was from the initial test batch, which we did back April-May time. And I will be taking that with me to Perth Festival of Yarn on the 8th and 9th of September. And on Saturday the 8th, I'll be running a pop-up shop for an hour before I have to go off and teach. And I'll have some Caithness Croft, I'll have my patterns, my general range of patterns with me, and I'll have the pattern for the loop-the-loop shawl, for Mathilde's socks, Mathilde's Pride socks, and we will launch those that day. And I'm really excited to look forward to that. But for the coming year, what's next for Caithness Croft? Well, this year's clip has started, and the farm who sent me the Suffolk and Beltex for this have already sent me this year's clip, and it's in the shed, along with the leftovers from last year. So that's another batch, another couple of big batches of that, which will go off to the mill. But in the last week, I've been approached by 2 other local farmers, and I went and visited them. So when I visited farm number 1, they handed me this. And this is, where are we? This is washed but uncombed Charolais Cheviot cross, which seems to be quite nice. It has a staple length which is about, well, you can skip. The staple length appears to be, I can get 1 or 2. Staple length is between 70 and 80 millimetres, which is absolutely fine. Charolais in its own can be 50 and less, which is not so good. But this, just taking a little bit of it and twisting it together just after washing, looks absolutely super. Sitting in the bucket, there's a slight sheen to it. It's come up beautifully white. There's a couple of bits of vegetable matter, fine vegetable matter in it, which will come out in carding and combing. I'm not worrying about that. So there's 5 bags of that, which I'm really quite happy with. And then there's this stuff. This is just straight Cheviot. from someone who came and spoke to me at the May Games and said, would you be interested in some fleece? And I said, I hope so. And she said, please come and have a look. And I went for a look, and this is just absolutely lovely. Again, it's just natural, it's white. And I said, is there much? She said, yeah, a couple of big bags. So I went over the other day to look at the couple of big bags. And the couple of big bags actually contained 60 odd fleeces. Yeah, 60 plus fleeces. So I've got all of these. And she said, oh, and there are a few Shetlands in the bottom of the bag, just because I wanted rid of them. I don't have time or the patience to do them. So I have got, I think, about half a dozen Shetland fleeces. I've got these, and I haven't been to the two other folk who promised me yarn for this year yet. And the stuff that's coming from them is all coloured. It's more than I can deal with. It's phenomenal. I have managed to arrange with the mill that I will process it, not in massive batches because they're a small process mill, and they'll be going off in small batches of about 20 kilos. So that's going to be, what, 5, 6 fleeces at a time. And what I'm going to do is I'll probably put off 3 bags of fleece each batch, and I'll put off a batch from each farm, because as I said, I'm going to keep these farm specific. So there will be 3 Caithness Croft fleeces available later in the year. So the first set of 3 will become available at the end of October, and there will be Kogel, which you've already seen. Gansplit, I think, is the next one, and Old Hall will be the third. The weights will change as well. I will continue to have my DK. I will also produce an Aran, and I think I might go mad and take some 4-ply. Just a straight cream wool 4-ply, nothing else added to it, for some shawl work and for some light sweater work, and I might dye some of it, but I'm going to talk nicely to some of the organic dyers I know, because if I can stick with organics or with simple botanicals, I think these could be really nice. I know that I can do strange things, and I can let the acid dyers go to town on them, and there's a couple of acid dyers have already been looking, and they might end up taking some as well. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting. These two have really, really cheered me up, because they've shown me the potential. I wanted to stay with natural colours for my production. If other people want to take them off, dye them and then resell them, I'm happy with that, and they can sell them as their dyed Caithness Croft. That's going to be absolutely fine with me. You know, they need to acknowledge source, provenance for their yarns as well, and that will help, hopefully, with the long-term marketing. So marketing for Caithness Croft will change after Perth Festival of Yarn, which is the next thing on my list today. Gonna have another drink and leathering on like a budgie here. So, 2 weeks from now, Perth Festival of Yarn 2018 will be over. We're in the final countdown. All of the indie dyers I know who are going to the event are talking about having their heads in dye pots constantly, producing the stock for the event. Some of the people I know who have fleeces and other things, they are sort of, they're just building, saving their stock and getting ready. My regular chatting to Eva Christie at Perth Festival of Yarn continues as it always has, and Eva tells me that things are ticking over nicely. There are still tickets available online. She hasn't closed the online ticket sales yet. I know that there are still spaces in my class. I'm teaching my top-down shawl design class again, and I've got, I think, about the same number as I had last year at the moment. I think I'm about 6 or 7 mark, which is a good size of class. So there is still capacity. Anyone else who wants to join us on that day, get to the Perth Festival of Yarn website. I'm on the Saturday afternoon, the 8th, and I think I'm on from 2 till 5. So, www.perthfestivalofyarn.uk. You can get your door tickets there, so you can either buy for Saturday or Sunday, or you can buy a weekend pass. You get access there to tickets for Sunday night social event, 3-course meal with a half bottle of wine thrown into the price. Menu is actually online, and you can make your menu selections when you order your ticket. You also have the Gin Flights night, which is on the Friday night, which is a gin tasting night. And I think there were only 2 tickets left for that the last time I spoke to Eva. So if you're a gin drinker and you're going to be there on the Friday, sign up, come and join us. It's going to be fun. But Saturday night, the social at the Station Hotel should be an absolute scream. A 3-course served meal with a half bottle of wine and the biggest knit and natter you can think of. And I'm hoping that a lot of the vendors are going to be there. I know a lot of the vendors are going to be there. I'm hoping a lot of the attendees are going to be there as well. The tutors are going to be there. So come join us and have a whale of an evening. It should be great fun. What else can I tell you? Again, there are folk travelling from all over the world to come to Perth. I know that we have folk travelling from the US. I know we have folk travelling from, I think Eva said we're now on something like 10 or 12 countries. It's phenomenal, absolutely super for a little festival like Perth, which started 3 years ago and has grown because people love the atmosphere. You know, that's why they go. The atmosphere at Perth makes it. It's absolutely wonderful. One of the things that I have to say I enjoy about it, we have a podcast lounge this year sponsored by the Knitter magazine, which is really great news. And the podcasters are going to be there. And I think we have podcaster meetups from 12:30 to 1:30 Saturday and Sunday. I know that I'm doing a pop-up shop on the Saturday morning for Caithness Croft and some patterns. What else do I know? I know that I'm teaching Saturday afternoon, which is a pain in the bum because I wanted to shop. So I'm going to have to try and run round before I set up for my pop-up on the Saturday morning. As soon as we open, see what's there and say, keep that for me, keep that for me, keep that, I'll be back, keep that. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't be enhancing my stash any further. I've got enough to keep me going, but hey, this is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. If you don't have a ticket, please go buy one. Come and join us because it is you'd think I'm actually getting paid to say this, but I'm not. I really do enjoy Perth. It is great fun. I'm enjoying my class. I always enjoy it. I've had people apologise to me that they're not coming to my class because they want to go and have a class with Carrie Westerman instead. And I'm sad. I'm not as popular as a famous knitter. I don't mind. I wish I was going to some of Carrie's classes myself. They sound really interesting. I'll tell you, there's something new this year. In terms of classes, there's 2 new bits. We have an international tutor coming from Sweden. She knits and designs using the name Yarnisty. And she's recently had some of her sock designs feature in magazines as well. Her name is Anna Freeberg. And she's doing a sort of bespoke, adjusting your sock patterns to fit your feet class. And we all know that when you pick up sock patterns with the best will in the world, sometimes they're not going to be right for your instep. Sometimes the designer has decided to use a specific heel construct that doesn't suit the shape of your foot. And I don't have a problem with people just changing these things and knitting something they know is going to be fine for them if they're working on one of my patterns. But there are some other folk who are a wee bit more precious. But if you're spending 20 quid on a decent skein of sock yarn, you don't want to waste it. You know, you want your socks to come out fitting your feet perfectly. So Anna's class sounds as if it's going to be really, really useful. Ellie from Scandia Knits is going to be with us, and she's doing a similar type of class, but I think she's looking at garments. I'll need to double check. I haven't read the class description for a while. Carrie Westerman has 3 different classes on the go. Lace Traditions, one based around getting published, and one about knitting the landscape. And they all sound absolutely, they all sound great. Bev Dot, who has won Colourwork Award several times, is doing a colourwork class. There's a brioche class being taught by Janice Anderson from Ba Wool in Fraserburgh, I want to say. Peterhead, Fraserburgh, I've forgotten. Janice, forgive me. I'll go and look it up and I'll make sure it appears on screen. Is teaching as well. And for anyone interested in doing this sort of thing, we have a young videographer. I say Eva has a young videographer called Dale Murray coming along, and Dale's going to be talking about videography, how to make best impact out of filming your podcast, and how to make sure that when you do distribute it online, you get the best possible usage from your social media. And for a lot of people interested in this type of thing, or trying to make an inroad into this part of the hobby part of knitting, why don't you? You know, come along, take Dale's class. If you've got camera equipment of your own, bring it with you. Look at its pros and cons, pick up some ideas, try filming a couple of short shots and looking back at them. So that should be fun, and I've known Dale for several years, pardon me, and I know that he's worked on some indie film work, which I have seen. He's worked on an indie film biography of Kevin Smith, sometimes known as Silent Bob, and I have to say that particular indie movie, I watched the screening here in Thursday and I thought was fantastic. And he did some acting in it and some other production work on it. So a young man working his way through the video industry at the moment and trying to build his own business profile. Lots of brilliant ideas, because I've been at workshops that he's led before and he is super. So please consider going to see any of these workshops and participate in them. You will have a whale of a time. So when is it? It's the 8th and 9th of September. Tickets available on the Perth Festival of Yarn website, URL floating on the screen somewhere while I've been blethering. Go, have a look, book your tickets, come and join us. 2 weeks to go. I haven't asked when ticket sales are stopping online. I might stick up a wee quick blast in a day or two's time. I'll speak to Eva Monday or Tuesday and ask her when online ticket sales are stopping, and I'll stick up a 2-minute this is me just to say I've spoke to Eva Christie, Perth Festival of Yarn, live ticket sales stop at such and such a day, such and such a time. And that's that one. And that only leaves one more thing, and that's the Rhodes Retreat 2019. At the end of Rhodes Retreat 2018, film of which I haven't finished uploading. I did start to upload it and it failed on multiple occasions. I might have to split it into 2 smaller units to get it to upload, I'm thinking. But I've been that busy with the kids, I haven't done it over the summer, so I'm going to try and get it done along with this tonight and get at least half of it up for you. Anyway, at the end of 2018, 9 folk had asked me about 9 bookings or 9 places for 2019 before we'd even left Rhodes, and I had said, yeah, I'll be doing next year as well. Before I left, talking to the hotel, the provisional dates are the 4th of May to the 11th of May. Just write that down for myself so that I remember to go and do it. One of the things that I've delayed, one of the reasons I've delayed starting sales for 2019 is I'm in a total quandary over what we might face post-Brexit in the UK. I don't know if I'm going to have to get a new passport issued if we leave the EU on the 29th of March. I don't know if airlines are going to change flight availabilities and things after the 29th of March. There are so many things which could go wrong. I just despair. Not that anything is definitely going to go wrong, it's just me worrying and thinking, be cautious. So I'm going to have to make sure that I've got really good insurance in place in case things do go wrong. I'll need to go through the policy with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that it's Brexit proof. And then I will ask the guys at the hotel to give me their operating prices for the coming year. I have got some wonderful feedback from this year on length of excursions, which I will be changing. Excursions and letting them become add-ons that people can buy into if they wish. So the entire structure of 2019 will stay roughly the same as this year, but I think there may be some additional flexibility in how people choose to spend their time. And if people want to spend their entire week floating around doing their own thing when they're not at classes, that's absolutely wonderful. That's fine. We'll let them enjoy themselves. They can meet up for dinner in the evening. And we'll still have some of the craziness. We're going to still have a wonderful time. Tutors for the coming year will be released later in the year. Dates permitting, I'll be there again for definite. Nathan Taylor, SOP Petition, has already indicated to me that around the beginning of May he's expecting to be free and he would love to be back again. So I've said thank you, I would be happy to have you back again, and I'm sure the folk who want to come to the retreat will enjoy that as well. My friend Eva Christie, Now Eva does do some teaching as well as planning the festival. But Eva is branching out and she's doing some teaching of some slightly different bits and pieces, and she was speaking to me about it the other day, and there is a possibility that Eva may be coming to join us as part of the teaching staff for the next retreat. But that's still to be confirmed as well. And what else have we got? Oh, I'm also jealous as can be because I think she's going to try and get back to visit the hotel at the end of this season, and I'm not going to get back to visit the hotel at the end of this season. But hey, that's life. What else? I'm trying to think, what else is there? Perth Festival of Yarn, Rhodes Retreat 2019. Yeah, there's so much to do between now and Perth. I'm not going to try and finish confirming the last of the Perth details until just after the Rhodes details until just after the Perth retreat. So first or second week of October, big Rhodes retreat, launch announcement, website will be updated, new tickets and itinerary and things for 2019 will go up, and you can all get in then. But before then, I'll have been back with a podcast updating you on what I was up to at Perth Festival of Yarn. Now that's been a long blether tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed being here. It's been quite cathartic sitting chatting to this camera and, well, effectively to you folks. So thank you all very much for putting up with me. If you have any questions or queries, please feel free to email me or message me on Instagram, get me on Facebook, and just say, look, hunt for the Beardychiel Designs page, drop me a message, say, can you tell me? Because I have my own personal Facebook page, I try and keep it separate to the Beardychiel stuff. Personal one is for family stuff, Beardychiel is for knitting stuff, and I don't mix the two up. So if you think you can find me by just looking for John Glenn and you ask me knitting questions, I'll ignore you. It's nothing personal, it's just that's the family bit and the knitting bit goes elsewhere. And what else? Oh, there is one other bit. There's a massive thank you has to go out to Sunnyside Crafts, to Karen. Because I was working on designs for a Beardychiel stitch needle gauge and potentially for stitch markers using the Beardychiel logo, and I was having a hiccup with the graphics files, and Karen said, well, send me what you've done so far. She adjusted them very, very slightly for me, and a couple of weeks later an envelope arrived with a couple of finished stitch marker needle gauges in it, saying, here was your basic design, here's the one I've slightly adjusted. If you're happy with them and you want to do any more or you want to order a batch of them, please feel free to let me know. So Karen, thank you so much. I haven't ordered any so far. I have been like a headless chicken, but I really, really, really like them, and I meant to bring them in and let you see them today, and I've forgotten all about them. So what I'll do is I'll get the final design finished. The needle gauge, needle size numerals have still to be placed, and the Beardychiel website URL, and that's the only things that still need to go on, so that should be absolutely fine. And I think that's me done for today. So we've had our whips, our finished objects, Caithness Croft, Perth Festival of Yarn, the Rhodes Retreat, what I've been up to over the summer. Yeah, we're more or less up to date. So what I will say is, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. From me, here at Beardychiel HQ in my conservatory, keep happy, keep healthy, keep knitting. Cheerio.